Good morning. Could I have everybody come up a little closer? Don't rush. My name is Rick Davis. I'm the business manager for the Iron Workers Local 118. I'd like to welcome you here and to all the veterans. I served 8 years in the United States Navy, was a second-class hull technician. My first command was a Cadillac for the Marine Corps. We drop them off on the beach and then kick them off for lunch and then take them back. Anyway, I'd like to welcome everybody here. I think this will be something that we'll do over and over again to help our veterans. I'd like to introduce Jenest. He's the president of our building trades, Sacramento Sierra Building Trades.
Thank you, Rick, and thanks to all the veterans out in the audience today. We're here today as part of a kickoff event for the Community Workforce and Training Agreement. It's the agreement that Sacramento Sierra Building Trades signed with the Sacramento Kings and Turner Construction for recruiting and manning the job with skilled labor for building the arena, and hopefully with the arena being the genesis of construction in Sacramento to start back up again, to provide a skilled workforce and careers for people and not just jobs. Today we have over a dozen of the crafts that are connected with the Sacramento Sierra Building Trades. There's more than you see here, but these are the ones we're able to make it. The building trades has always had a relationship with Helmets to Hardhats and other community groups that provide a labor pool or people looking for careers in the construction industries. But this Community Workforce and Training Agreement and this event is designed to accelerate that process in hopes of meeting the schedules that are projected for the arena construction and all the other construction around downtown that will be associated with it. So I know he's not here yet, but he's trying to get here. Clint Williams from Turner Construction and Kunal from the Sacramento Kings, in association with the Sacramento Sierra Building Trades, welcome everyone here and glad you could attend. Now we have a couple of speakers for you today, and the first one I'd like to introduce is an apprentice from the Operating Engineers veteran. His name is Corey Stewart. He's going to come up here and say a few words, so let's welcome him.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Hey. My name is Corey Stewart. I'm an apprentice with the Operating Engineers. I did 4 years active duty on the Army. I was a heavy equipment operator in the military. I did 1 tour in Afghanistan for a year. When I came home, it was kind of rough getting a job. The economy wasn't doing too well. It was, you know, a lot of places they just didn't want to hire you because they couldn't afford to have anybody there and they didn't have the work for you. I ended up getting a job when I first came home with a private company, and at that time I had been trying to get into the union. The thing I wanted to get into the union so much for is because the union is a lot like the military to me, and as in there's a lot of structure. There's somebody there that's got your back. There's, you know, you got outlets and stuff that you can go to, people you can talk to, people you can look up to and learn from and get help from if you need it. And all these construction trades and stuff like that, being on a construction site is a lot like being on active duty. You know, you got your mission, you got your, you know, your execution of your mission, you got, you know, your team, and you got your leadership. And it was just really comfortable for me coming into the construction industry and coming into the union and having the union behind me and having my back. If I ever do have a problem, I know they're there and I can come talk to them. For all these veterans and stuff that we got coming home, a lot of them have a lot of stress disorders, disabilities, and stuff like that. And being in the construction industry, a lot of us are, you know, you're outside a lot, and that's what we're used to, and it gives us a comfort. And that comfort makes a big difference on how our job performance is and how we live our lives. That's about all I got to say today. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you, Corey. I always appreciated when I was actually working with the tools, having people come from the military, because they were so used to working as a team. And like he said, he liked the structure, and all I had to do was concentrate on teaching them the trade and not how to work with others and work in an environment where there's multiple moving parts, like a large construction site. So with that, I'd like to introduce our next guest. He's with the apprentice with the insulators, Todd Bow. Thank you. We'll welcome him.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd just like to say Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Happy birthday to all the Marines that are out there. We celebrate our 238th birthday on Sunday. So, quick little summary of my little career is I did 10 years in the Marine Corps Reserve as a heavy equipment operator. 2 deployments to Iraq, 1 in 05, 1 in 08. And when I came back the first time, I was kind of in and out of work and wasn't really sure where to look for work, how to look for work. The second deployment, I came back, I had kids, was married at this time, and it was a little more important at this time to find a job. And I remember when we came back off the plane and sat in front of some desks, somebody handed out some Helmets to Hardhat cards. And, I'm like, all right, this is something to put some interest in. So I filled out some information, got online, did it, and, now I got in this trade. I'm through heat and frost insulators. I do mechanical installation. So since then, that Helmets to Hardhats was a great transition as far as, coming from the military and finding work. And, I make pretty close to $40 an hour now. I got 3 kids, and, I have no complaints. I'm working every day. My trade is an excellent trade. But, coming out of the military, especially from Iraq or the Marine Corps, the transition's pretty rough. Dealing with civilian people again, the way you do things in the military is completely different than the way people deal with things, in a cubicle in an office building. But I know one thing, coming into my trade, I knew that I could take orders. I knew that I could be there every day. I knew I could wake up early. And I knew that, sooner or later that it's going to be given to me the task to give orders, and I'll be ready for that when it happens. So, I just want to thank Helmets to Hardhats because, I wouldn't be where I am today without them. And I appreciate all these guys out here that are serving the country and all the construction trades that are giving these guys opportunities to find work. So I just want to say thank you to Heat and Frost, Helmets to Hardhats, and all the construction trades out there.
Thank you, Todd. And our next guest doesn't need much introduction. I've met him many times over the years, and a lot of the trouble with putting the veterans together with the crafts throughout the nation is the multiple local unions, so the multiple building trades, the multiple arms of the service, and how to find and connect the dots between the people looking for a job and the people wanting a job. So there was an entity created, and there's a tireless warrior for the veterans in the Helmets to Hardhats, and our next guest speaker, Daryl Roberts.
Thanks. I'll make this brief because I realize that the clouds are going away and it's getting hot. So, and I know you don't want to be out here listening to me if you don't have to. Bottom line, today, how many veterans do we have in the crowd other than our speakers here today? How many veterans? Thank you very much for your service. Round of applause for our veterans. So, Helmets to Hardhats is entering its 10th year, and it's been 10 years. It's been pretty rocky, to say the least. In 2010, we lost our government funding. We had to find other funding sources. We had people on the West Coast that were working full-time for Helmets to Hardhats. We had to cut back in that area, but I'm happy to say that we are working in a positive direction, that we'll have someone on a full-time basis back on the West Coast, working toward that goal so we know we get a lot of work out here and a lot of attention. I want to thank Rick for his service, and of course for the Ironworkers hosting this event today, and of course Jenest and Todd and Corey for their service, and of course all the veterans who raised their hands. Bottom line, without going into pulling a lot of heartstrings or doing a lot of different words, bottom line, it's about the people that help. And I will tell you, I've sent out a Veterans Day message the other day, and I'll just tell you what I wrote, and that'll pretty much sum it up. But my 8-year-old daughter was going to school, and she came in. She said, "Dad, I need to take a red, white, and blue shirt to school. I got to wear one." My wife just had knee surgery, and so she's laid up. She can't go in there on crutches and stuff. So I'm pretty much the mom and dad right now. So I go in there and try to figure out where this red, white, and blue shirt is, right? And I was lost, and I couldn't find it. So my other daughter's a little bit bigger, and she was like, instead of me going to my daughter, my older daughter, and saying, hey, give her a shirt that's red, white, and blue, which you know how that would work out. My older daughter would be like, I don't want her wearing it. My younger daughter would be like, I don't want to wear it. And so, you know, I looked over at her and I said, come here a second. And so we went in the bedroom, and beside my desk is a wooden box, a carved wooden box, and inside it is my medals. And I pulled out one of my medals, and I looked at my daughter and I said, here, I said, would you wear this for me? And I pinned the medal on her shirt, and I said, I told her why I'd got the medal, what I did to receive it, and so forth and so forth, you know. And I said, so if anybody asks you a question, baby, I said, just tell them that. And she looked at me and she laughed. She goes, I'm not going to remember all that. She goes, but I'll tell them you got it overseas. I said, okay, that's fine enough. So, you know, she wore the medal to school, but, you know, it made me think about, basically, we had Veterans Day and we thank our veterans, but also too often we forget about the family and the friends and the people who run programs, and sometimes they're veterans themselves, that run programs to help our veterans. And, you know, the important piece is that you're there, because if you're not there, you know, that service will not get recognized. And when men and women put their lives on the line, when families suffer because they're overseas, when all these things happen, and quietly people suffer, and the family, the father's not there for the father and daughter dance, and so forth and so forth. I mean, the list is forever long. And when you people, and the people standing here today, whether you've served, whether you're in the apprenticeship, whether you're with a union or a company or a contractor, like Turner, who's donating money to Helmets to Hardhats to see it continue, when you do things like that, to me, you're part of that brother and sister, that part of that family. And if I could, I'd give each and every person that did this kind of work a medal. I'd give every one of you a medal if I could. But just like that family that suffers in silence because their loved ones are away, that's what you do, because you feel like it's the right thing to do. And I appreciate that. And I'll never be able to put in words how much, as veterans, it means to us. So thank you to all the people that do the work they do, whether it's with the VA, whether it's with the AMVETS, whether it's with the crafts. You know, our veterans would not get served so well if it wasn't for the people putting their time on the line. So thank you for that. And I would leave you with something funny, but I'm not very good with jokes, so I'm just going to turn it back over to Rick. Thank you. Less than an hour?
Yeah, perfect. I told, he goes, how long? I said, well, you get a half hour, but I'm going to cut you off after an hour.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you very much, Daryl. One thing I wanted to remind everyone that we are here till 1 o'clock. This is not a one-time thing. We will always be working with Helmets to Hardhats and our returning veterans to connect a skilled workforce to the need for a skilled labor pool. And what Daryl did mention is that in the Community Workforce and Training Agreement, once work starts on the entertainment and sports complex, I can't call it an arena, but once work starts on the entertainment and sports complex, the contractor of record, which is Turner Construction at this point in time, will be making a donation to Helmets and Hardhats to further the work that Daryl has done for our returning heroes. So with that, I'll turn it over to Rick.
Again, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming, and thank you to all our veterans and everybody that's servicing the veterans.